Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Learning Arabic for the beginners. The topic we are going to talk about for today is 4 forms of Arabic alphabet. 4 صور لحروف العربية. If we want to write Arabic letter, firstly, we have to know how many forms are there for Arabic letter. How many forms are there in Arabic letter? Suppose, if we want to write ba at the different place of a word, then we have to know how to write ba. If we want to write it separately, then we have to know how to write ba if we want to write ba at the beginning of a word. Then also we have to know how to write ba when we want to write it at the middle of a word. Also we have to know how to write ba if we want to write it at the end of a word. Considering these differences, we have known that there are 4 forms in Arabic letter. There are 4 forms in Arabic letter. Like, the first one is called isolated. The second one is called initial. Initial form. The third one is called medial form, and the last one is called final form. Yes, there are 4 forms of an Arabic letter. Suppose if we want to write ba separately, then we have to write ba like this way. Ba. Now ba is separate. That means there is no connection before or after ba. That is why ba is separate. Ba is isolated. For this reason, the form of ba is called isolated form in this situation. If we want to write ba at the beginning of a word, like batta, battatu. Now let's see. Ba is the first letter of a word, batta. Ba is the first letter of the word batta. That is why we are not allowed to write ba fully in keeping its full form. Rather, we have to write the first half of ba. That is why if we want to write ba at the beginning of a word, we are not allowed to write ba fully. That is the difference. That is why we have to know how to write an Arabic letter when we want to write it initially, and when we want to write it isolated in an isolated form, and when we want to write it at the beginning of a word, and when we want to write it at the middle point of a word, and when we want to write it at the last point of a word, at the last point of a word. Okay? Like batta, ba is the first letter. That is why the form of ba is called initial form. If we want to write ba at the middle of a word, then the form of ba will be called medial form. Like hablun. Now let's see. The first letter of hablun is ha, and the middle letter of hablun is ba. Now let's see. We have written ba separately. There is no connection. That is why ba is like this. And also we have written ba at the beginning of a word. That's why ba is like this. Ba is written like this way. And we have also written ba at the middle of a word. That is why ba is written like this. And also, if we want to write ba at the end of a word, like if you want to write ba at the end of a word, then ba will be written like this way. Suppose we want to learn qalbun. We want to write qalbun. Now let's see. Ba is the final letter of this word, qalbun. Now how I have written ba. Now let's see the differences in writing ba. If we want to write ba separately, then we have to write ba like this way. That is why the form of writing ba is called isolated form. If we want to write ba at the beginning of a word, we have to write ba like this. That is why the form of writing ba is called initial form of ba. Similarly, if we want to write ba at the middle of a word, we have to write ba like this. That is why the form of ba is called medial form, because the ba is written at the middle of a word. That's why ba is called medial. The form of writing ba is called medial form. Okay? Then the last one is called final. If you want to write ba finally, that means the end of a word, then we have to write ba fully, but there will be a joint before ba, like this way. That is why ba is called, the form of writing ba is called final form. Now got the point? There are 4 forms of Arabic alphabet. One of them, the first one of them is called isolated form. That form will be separated. That form will be no connection. There will there will no any connection. And the second one is initial form, that is called the starting form of a letter. And the third one is called medial form, that is the middle form of a word. And the last form is called final form, and that is the ending point, ending letter of a word. For today, we have reached our destination, and that is 4 forms of Arabic alphabet. We have already known that there are 4 forms of Arabic alphabet, that is called isolated form, initial form, medial form, and final form. Okay, dear students, we have to practice it more and more time. We have to think about it more and more time. Then we will move on how to write a letter from alif, how to write a letter with using 4 forms, and we will learn from alif to ya every letter one by one, and we will also learn the 4 forms of every letter. That's finish.